Ladies, let me tell you something right now. Men are a whole lot simpler than we look. Y'all spend too much time thinking we're complicated, hard to figure out, or full of games. Nah, we don't need $1,000 gift. We don't need poetry written on the wall. And we don't need a Broadway show to feel loved. What we need is simple, but it's powerful affection. Because let me be real with you. Men don't just melt when you give us attention. Attention is everywhere. We can get attention from co-workers, strangers, people at the gym, or even from folks online. But affection, that's rare, that's personal. That's the thing that breaks us down and makes us soft for you. See, a man can walk into a room and folks might notice him. They might say, "Oh, there goes that brother who works hard," or, "Hey, always sharp with his clothes," or, "Hey's funny." That's attention. It feels good, but it don't last. But when a woman he cares about looks at him, really sees him, and then gives him a name, a sound, a little word that belongs to just the two of them, that man is finished. You got him. Because you didn't just look at him like everybody else does. You marked him as yours with affection. Now, I ain't talking about just calling him baby or Oni, like every couple on the block. No, I'm talking about something that makes him feel different. A nickname that fits him, that feels private, that hits him in his chest every time he hears it. That's the difference between attention and affection. Attention is public, affection is personal. Think about it. When you're out in public and you use that name, he's going to sit up straighter. He's going to feel like, that's me right there. That's my woman talking to me. And ain't nobody else got that name but her. It's not about the word itself. It could be silly. It could be soft. It could even sound funny to somebody else. But to him, it's gold. Because it came from you. And what you're really telling him without saying it out loud is, "You're mine. You matter to me. I see you in a way nobody else does." Men crave that. We might not admit it. We walk around like we're tough, like we don't need that mushy stuff. But the truth is, we melt when you show it. You ever seen a grown man blush? You ever seen a man who's tough around everybody else? But when his woman calls him by that one name, he smiles like a little boy. That's affection working. That's not just attention. That's deeper than that. And here's what you got to understand, men. Don't forget the way you make us feel. You could nag us. You could argue with us. You could fight with us. Oh, we'll remember that too. But when you give us affection, it plants something permanent inside. It's like when you put a seed in the soil. Every time you call us by that name, every time you use affection instead of just attention, that seed grows. And before long, that man feels something bigger than himself. He feels seen. He feels respected now. Ladies, let me keep it all the way real with you. A lot of women out here think the way to keep a man is to outshine every other woman. You want to dress better. You want to cook better. You want to be more exciting, more fun, more glamorous. That's all attention. And yeah, it can catch his eye for a while. But what holds a man is not the attention you give. It's the affection you show. Because when he's tired, when he's worn out, when the world beats him up, but your attention ain't enough. But when he hears that one nickname, when he feels your love without you saying a long speech, he remembers why he chose you in the first place. That's why I'm telling you, stop stressing over doing the biggest flashiest thing for your man. Just give him affection in the small ways. Look at him in his eyes, smile when you see him, and yes, give him that nickname that nobody else has the right to say. That's how you get him soft for you. That's how you make him melt. At the end of the day, men want to feel like we belong to somebody. We want to know we are more than just another dude in your phone, another man on the street, another guy passing through your life. We want to feel chosen. And affection, real intentional affection, tells us exactly that. It whispers, you're the one. You're mine. I love you in a way nobody else can. So remember, this attention may turn a man's head, but affection captures his heart. And once you've got that heart, ladies, trust me, you've got the whole man. Do you want me to also add Steve Harvey style humor breaks, like quick jokes or little crowd laugh moments to make it feel more like his live stage talk show delivery? Ladies, let me put you up on a little secret right now. Men, we ain't always going to come out and say what we want, but we feel it deep down. Every man wants a space that feels like it belongs to him. A place where he doesn't have to prove himself, doesn't have to be strong all the time, doesn't have to compete with the world. And here's where you come in. Because when you give a man a nickname, and I'm not talking about just any old name, I'm talking about that special private name that only you use. You create that space for him. You carve out emotional territory inside his heart. It's like planting a flag that says, this right here, this belongs to us. See, here's the thing about men. We like to act tough. But we're territorial creatures. We like to know what's ours. But ladies, when you give us that one of a kind nickname, you flip the script. You stake your claim on us. You're saying, this man is mine and this bond is ours. And let me tell you, that makes us crazy about you. Because now every time we hear that name, we don't just hear the word, we feel the emotion, we feel comfort, we feel love, we feel playfulness. It's like this. A man can have the whole world calling him by his first name, his title, his last name, even his street name. But when you call him by that nickname, you break down walls he didn't even know he had up. Suddenly, he ain't thinking about work, bills, stress, or competition. He's thinking about you. You become the person that gives him his soft place to land. And believe me, that matters to a man. Now let's be real. Anybody can call him baby or sweetheart. That's cute, but it's common. But when you take the time to find something personal, something that fits who he is to you, that's when you create that emotional territory. That's when he starts connecting the sound of your voice with feelings of peace. He could be having the worst day of his life. Boss yelling, car breaking down, phone blowing up. But when you hit him with that name, suddenly the weight gets lighter. Suddenly he remembers, I got somebody who sees me different than the rest of the world does. And don't underestimate the power of playfulness in this. Nicknames aren't always serious. Sometimes they're silly. Sometimes they're fun. Sometimes they don't even make sense to anybody else. But that's the point. That's the magic. You give him something goofy that only the two of you understand, and now you've got an inside world that nobody else can enter. It's like your own private language. And if you don't think men want that, trust me, they do. Because in a world where men constantly feel like they got to prove themselves, having a woman who gives you a name that's all about love and not performance. That's priceless. And here's where it gets real deep. That nickname becomes more than just a sound. It becomes a trigger. Every time he hears it, it pulls him back to the feelings you've attached to it. If you've used it in moments of laughter, it reminds him of joy. If you've said it when you're hugging him, it reminds him of safety. If you've whispered it in quiet moments, it reminds him of intimacy. Over time, that little name becomes packed with meaning. That's why it builds emotional territory, because it's not just a word, it's an experience. Now, ladies, I gotta warn you about something. Don't play with this. Don't give him a name one day and then switch it up or throw it away the next. Men may act strong, but we're sensitive about consistency. That nickname becomes a piece of stability in his life. If you use it with love, it'll hold him. If you use it carelessly, it can hurt. But when you commit to it, when you make it a part of the bond between you, it works wonders. At the end of the day, here's what I want you to understand. Men don't just want your time. They don't just want your attention. They don't just want your body. What makes a man truly lock into a woman is when she makes him feel like he belongs somewhere. A special name does that. It tells him, you're not just another man in the crowd. You're my man. And I got a way of talking to you that nobody else does. That's emotional territory. That's how you build a connection that lasts. So the next time you're wondering how to make him light up when you walk into the room, don't stress over a new outfit. Don't worry about the makeup. Don't try to outdo every woman out there. Just hit him with that nickname, that little slice of affection that's reserved for him alone. Watch how his face changes. Watch how his energy shifts. Watch how he goes from hard to soft in an instant. Because when you give a man a nickname that nobody else has the right to use, you ain't just calling his name. You're calling his heart. Do you want me to also sprinkle in some Steve Harvey style audience laughter pauses and quick punchlines to make it feel like a stand-up talk show delivery? Ladies, let me tell you the truth about nicknames, because a lot of y'all think it's just about coming up with something cute and saying it one time. No. That's not how it works. A nickname is like seasoning on food. If you sprinkle it once and walk away, it don't change nothing. But if you keep using it, if you do it with confidence and sprinkle it just right over time, that's when the flavor sinks in. That's when it becomes part of the whole dish. See, when you give a man a nickname, you can't be shy about it. You can't whisper it like you're not sure. If you don't believe in it, he won't either. Men respond to confidence. If you say it like you mean it, like it belongs to him, like it belongs to you to give, then he's going to start believing that too. And that's powerful because it creates an energy, a chemistry between you two that grows stronger every time you use it. Think about it. If you call him by that name only once in a blue moon, he's not going to connect it with anything meaningful. But when you use it consistently, when it shows up in your texts, when you call it out when he walks in the room, when you say it in moments of love and moments of laughter, it starts to sink into his spirit. He starts to recognize it as something that belongs to you and him. That's when it becomes more than a word. It becomes a bond. And here's where the chemistry part kicks in. Every relationship, no matter how good it looks from the outside, lives or dies on chemistry. You can have all the money. You can have all the looks, you can have all the fancy dates, but if you don't have chemistry, it's just not going to stick. Chemistry is that spark you can't fake. And one of the ways you create it is through those small, consistent, confident gestures, like the nickname. A man remembers how you make him feel. He may forget what you wore. He may forget half of what you said. But he's not going to forget how you made him feel. And when you attach that feeling to a nickname, used with confidence and consistency, you've just built something that ties him emotionally to you. You've made him feel like he belongs in a way that's unique, not general. Anybody can call him by his real name. Anybody can call him sir, boss, or bro. But when you give him that private nickname and you use it boldly, that's when he says to himself, she's mine. She knows me different. She's not like the rest. Now don't get it twisted. Consistency doesn't mean you sound like a broken record. It means you place it with the right timing. Use it when he needs to hear it. Use it when you're proud of him. Use it when he's stressed out and needs to be reminded of the love he's got waiting for him. Use it when you're laughing together, because that ties it to joy. Use it in quiet, intimate moments, because that ties it to closeness. That's how the chemistry builds, layer by layer, moment by moment. And I'll tell you something else. Men are not going to ask you for this. We'll never sit down and say, baby, could you please give me a nickname and use it consistently? That's not how we're wired. But when you do it, when you take that initiative, it does something to us we can't even explain. It lowers our guard. It makes us feel chosen. It makes us feel like we've been marked in a good way. And let me tell you, when a man feels chosen, he acts different. He'll protect you, he'll claim you, he'll brag about you, he'll work harder for you. Because now the chemistry is undeniable. That's why confidence and consistency matter so much. One without the other won't cut it. If you're confident but not consistent, it just feels random. If you're consistent but not confident, it feels weak. But when you've got both, now you're speaking his love language without even saying the words. I love you. You're proving it through action. So remember this,